Welcome to episode 23 of Talk and Dribble, another massive episode coming your way. This week, we're diving into all the playoff race chatter. The postseason is heating up and we've got plenty to discuss.
I'll be breaking down my top 10 teams to win the NBA championship heading into the playoffs. Let's see which teams are built for a deep run.
And I'll be giving you my top 10 trios, ranking the best duos and superstars pairing up for this year's postseason. Some of these combinations and downright scary.
Plus, we'll be looking at our all-NBA team selections, first, second, and third teams who made the cut.
And let's not forget about our NBA regular season awards, who's earning those trophies this year.
We've also got a fun Who Would You Rather segment coming your way, and this time we're putting Anthony Edwards in the spotlight. Who's getting the nod?
It's going to be a jam-packed episode, so grab a seat and let's jump into all the NBA action.
Your beauty. So plenty happening in the NBA. The playoff race could not be hotter right now.
It is steaming up.
East-wise, it's pretty tame over there. Cavs have essentially clinched the 1 seed.
Yep.
Celtics have clinched the second. Knicks looking solid at 3. You don't think the Pacers are going to get there. Pacers looking likely to get the 4 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Bucks currently 1 game ahead of the Pistons. That could change today.
Yep.
And the Magic, Hawks, Bulls, Heat close out the play-in for the East respectively. But it's looking pretty mild in the East.
Yeah. And we just saw Sacramento beat Pistons today. So that gives Bucks a bit of breathing room there.
Yeah, they should win it from there then.
100%.
But the West, that's where all the action's happening. The Wild West.
It is a bloodbath down there, isn't it? Oh, my days. So obviously OKC have the 1 seed sealed. Yep. Houston look like getting that 2 seed. Can't really see them losing it. They can only lose it to the Lakers.
Yep.
But then from 3 to 8 is just crazy. Yeah. Everyone from 3 to 8 is a chance of getting any position in there. Yep. So you're talking teams like Rockets, Lakers, Denver, Clippers, Warriors, Minnesota, Memphis can all get that 3 seed. And then from on that to the 4 seed, Houston the only one who can't drop below the 3 seed.
Yeah, that's insane.
There's
currently a 4-way tie between the Warriors, the Clippers, the Timberwolves, and the
Denver are nearing that,
Nuggets are near it. Yeah. Oh, no, and the Grizzlies. Grizzlies. So they're on a 4-way tie.
So it's nearly
Nuggets,
a 5-way tie.
Almost a 5-way tie. Nuggets are only half a game ahead of those 4 teams because they've played 1 more game.
Yep.
So it's going to be tough.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm super excited, super nervous as a T-Wolves fan. Yep. I'm hoping we can find our way to that 4 seed. That would be insane. Maybe even a 3 seed, but it's getting out of hand. It's crazy to see like a team like the Lakers are sitting at the 3 seed and have a chance to fall to the 8 and be in the play-in. Like, what are we doing here?
I know. It's gonna really eventually decide who actually has a deep run in the playoffs. Like the Lakers, they need a top seed. The Warriors, they would definitely benefit from home court advantage. They need, if they can get a top 4 seed, that would be huge. Denver, they cannot be they can't be dropping, especially out of the playoff race. Like Jamal Murray's got a hamstring injury, so they're very limited. They need to face a 7 or an 8 seed.
So many red flags for the Nuggets right now because Jokic couldn't be playing any better basketball, and they're struggling. So not ideal for them, but it's so exciting. I just can't wait for playoff time. It's just the best time of the year. NBA playoffs coming around. But should we head into talking about the playoffs?
Yeah.
I put a little list together of my top 10 trios heading into the playoffs. So I'll take us down from 10 to 1.
Yep.
And you let me know how I went here.
Yeah, let's hear it, man.
So coming in at the 10 spot, I have the trio of Ja Morant, Triple J, and Desmond Bane from the Memphis Grizzlies.
Okay. That seems low for them. But when now actually thinking, there's so many trios.
They've been so good together. Yeah. But putting this together, there are so many good trios. Every team's super deep right now.
Yep.
Coming in at number 9, I have Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, and Rudy Gobert.
Okay. I think Ant definitely weighs that trio a lot.
Plays a big part in that, and I think just he's shown he elevates as well during the playoffs. Yeah. And I reckon he's playing the best basketball we've seen him play. I'm super high on that. It could be a little biased, but I'm very high on my T-Bulls right now. Coming in at 8 is, I don't know if it's too high or too low for this team. It could really go either way. I've got the trio of Giannis, Damian Lillard, and Brook Lopez.
Well, Dame is he even going to be playing?
Yeah, well, we're talking about that. He's still 50-50. We're not too sure. I do believe he will be playing. I think they'll find ways, but Giannis being there, Giannis is possibly, I reckon, the second best player in the league. That's enough to build that trio up to be in the top 10, I think.
I don't know. If one of them's not playing, it's kind of hard to chuck him
Dame
on
will
like
be
this.
playing, though.
All right.
All right. We have trust. Coming in at 7, this trio has probably some of the most experience together, but they are injury bound as well right now, and that's Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Aaron Gordon. So obviously they're banged up, but when you have the best player in the world, you find yourself in that spot. Yeah. Jamal Murray, we've seen him elevate in the playoffs. Aaron Gordon is playing career best basketball. He's shooting the lights out. He's a good shooter now, which is super scary for teams.
He'd be leading the league in 3-point percentage if he had shot enough threes.
Yeah, which is super impressive. Like, he's a knockdown shooter at times. So, and when you have Nikola Jokic, you find yourself in the top 10.
Yep.
Number 6, I've got the trio of Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, and OG Anunoby. So obviously we haven't seen this trio in the playoffs yet. We really didn't even get to see Jalen Brunson and OG in the playoffs together last season. So still a lot of question marks, but I think they're super talented. Brunson, big playoff performer. I think I'm excited to see how Cat goes with a new team in the playoffs, but I expect him to rise. And same with OG, so I'm super high on...
So you rate OG more than Mikal Bridges?
I think OG is their third best player.
Okay.
I think he's a much better defender, and there isn't that big of a gap between them offensively. I'd take OG any day of the week.
Oh, valid.
100%. Coming in at 5 is the trio of Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Evan Mobley. Best team in the league right now, statistically wise and record wise. However, I think that is a lot of the pieces around them as well. I don't think they're as talented as a trio above these 4 teams I've got above them.
Like, you could easily put Allen into this trio,
and
which
you're
shows
talking about
their
best players, Donovan Mitchell, where I don't think he's at that S tier of players that the ones above him currently have. Coming in at number 4 is also possibly the best team in the league, is the trio of Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Tingus Pingus.
At 4?
At 4.
Damn, that's low.
I think it's also built off what they have around them as well, and coaching I think is super high, but I don't know.
I'm trying to think who you have above them.
I really rate this trio, but also a lot of inconsistencies with Tingus Pingus. We don't know what you're going to get out of him, and then say if he's not in the big 3, you've got like a Derek White, where it's like, compared to these other guys in these big 3s, I don't know. I reckon the ones I've got him, I take him over Jason Tatum, and then their second tier player, I probably take over Jaylen Brown.
Okay.
So
let's see who your top 3 are.
Coming in at number 3 is they are well and truly back, is Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler. Steph Curry playing just elite basketball. Had a shocker yesterday, dropped 3 points, which we don't want to see.
Yep.
But he has been in just elite form. Jimmy Butler, we know what he can do come playoff time. He is a playoff riser. He takes the team with him and sets the tone. Draymond Green, possibly going to win Depoy this year, playing elite basketball, and is just the perfect complement and little kind of Batman to Robin for Steph Curry. They are an elite trio right there, and they find themselves in the top 3. Coming in number 2, the youngest trio going around, but geez, they're good. And they're exciting to watch, is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams, and Chet Holmgren. Just whatever you want in a trio, they have. They've got scoring. They've got guarding 1 to 5. They've got rim protection. They are truly elite. They have one of the best players in the league, possibly will win MVP. Jalen Williams was an all-star this year. Chet could be an all-star if he stayed healthy. They are truly special, and we expect them to make a deep playoff run this year. However, there's only one team that could find themselves in the 1 spot. It's because they have the king. They've got just a bloke that wasn't loved by one team and was traded to another, and also possibly the best third option in the league. In LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves are the best trio in the league currently. You have one of the best players in the league. You have the GOAT. And then you have Austin Reeves, who I think is one of the biggest playoff performers going around. He is super clutch. And you're talking about the trust that JJ has in him to put the ball in his hands in critical possessions and critical time coming down the stretch. This trio is the definition of an elite trio, I think. When you compare it to the other 10 and the teams missing out, these guys just take the cake every day of the week.
Yeah, I like that. It's hard not to put them one, LeBron and Luka.
Just so star-studded.
Shai, Jalen Williams, Chet. That's definitely a solid 2. Where is James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, and Zubac, bro?
Okay, so...
They're better than a trio of Ant, Julius, and Rudy.
Is Kawhi going to play?
Bro, he's dropped 12 games in a row, 20-plus points. He's balling in.
Good on him. When was the last time he played in the playoffs?
How's Damian Lillard going?
Yeah, at least he actually plays in the playoffs, though.
No, he didn't last season.
Kawhi, they are not an elite trio. There is no way. You're telling me you'd take him over over Damian Lillard, Giannis, and Brook Lopez? Bro, Giannis is possibly the best player in the league, behind
Damian
Jokic.
Lillard's not healthy. Right now, Kawhi is healthy. And they're balling out. They've won 14.
He's not going to be healthy in the playoffs.
They've won 14 of their last 16. They're all of a sudden the 5 seed.
Good on them. Good on them. They are not a
I'd
better
have
trio
them
than
in
any
the
of them
top
above
10.
them.
Zubac, one of the most underrated centers.
They're not better than any of these. The only one I would possibly give you to put over is Jar, Triple J, and Desmond. They're not going over any of those
What
other
about
ones.
Şengün, Amen Thompson, Jalen Green?
Do we even know, is that their big three? Do we know that? Or is Fred VanVleet in there? Is Dylan Brooks in there? Like,
No. Absolutely not.
Yeah, but we don't know. That trio isn't cemented. You're talking about Jalen Green, possibly one of the most inconsistent players going around. Amen Thompson's only scratching the surface. Şengün, we haven't seen these blokes in the postseason either. We have no idea what that is. But when you think of these teams, you instantly know their big three. Houston, I don't think they've got a solidified big three.
Yeah,
So, and I
true.
think we will see that come playoff time. I don't think they're good enough to be in the top 10 trios.
No, it was a
They're
solid
a really
list.
good team.
It was a solid list.
Appreciate that. Thank
All
you.
right.
I needed that. I needed that.
Alrighty, I am putting together my team, my top 10 teams to win the championship heading into the playoffs. So from 10 to 1, these are the only, I can't see all these teams winning it, but ranking from 10 to 1, who can actually hold up that trophy at the end of the year.
Yep.
All right. So at number 10, I got the Houston Rockets. So they're super young. They need a lot to go right. I'm expecting at best a second round exit. If they win that first matchup against whoever they face the 7, but still, I think there's a big fat chance that they lose in the first round. But there is a pathway for them to win the chip. Their defense, they showed it the other day against the Warriors. They completely shut down Steph Curry, limited him to 3 points after he's been on a heater.
Yep.
So their defense and physicality, which translates into the playoffs, that can definitely that could lead to some postseason success.
Yeah.
But they need a lot to go right. Like I can't see them beating the Oklahoma City Thunder or any of those top teams in the East. Like they wouldn't beat Cavs in a 7-game series or the Celtics.
Yeah. No,
but I don't think they're
right
going to
there
get
with
there.
Right there with you.
But I got them at 10. Number 9, the New York Knicks. So it might seem a bit low. Yeah, it might seem a bit low. But I don't have faith in this team to beat either Cavs or the Celtics. Yeah. And it's just incredibly worrying that they have not beaten a half-decent team all year. Like all the best teams, they lose. They're competitive in some points, but then there's games where they just look completely out of it. They look a level below. And look, their roster-wise, they've got just about the best starting 5 in the league. But after that, there's no depth. All it takes is one of these players to get injured. If Bridges, OG, all it takes is just one of those guys to be cooked. And then all of a sudden you're putting one of your bench players into the rotation. And it's just, there's no depth to this team.
Health is going to play such a pivotal role for this Knicks team. I'm saying it's tough. They should be higher than that in terms of what they've got on paper. But yeah, I understand them being that low.
At best, I can only really see these guys making the second round unless they just, if they beat it, well, if they don't, that means they're beating a Cavs or a Celtics 4 times, which I cannot see happening. I just can't. Like the other 2 teams are way better offensively and way more consistent night to night.
Big call. That's a big call.
Alrighty, number 8. I got the Los Angeles Clippers. So I've got them above. They are balling out. They're one of the best defensive teams in the league. They're a top 3 defensive team. Won 14 of their last 16, if healthy. So I'm saying, if healthy, if they've got a full squad, they are the 8th best team to win the championship.
I reckon that's one of your worst calls.
I'm
sorry. There is no way I'm taking the Clippers over the Knicks.
Clippers have proven they can beat actual successful teams. The Knicks can't beat anyone who they'll actually come up against in the playoffs unless it's Atlanta Hawks or my Bulls.
Can you actually see the Clippers winning a series?
Yes.
Okay. Against who? The Rockets?
Against Memphis, against the Rockets.
Okay, they won't be versing Memphis.
Against the Timberwolves. Maybe not the Timberwolves.
They won't be. I can only see it. Memphis isn't a realistic option for them.
I can see them beating Denver. For sure.
No.
I can see them. They are they're way more deeper. And if Kawhi is humming like he is,
He won't be though. He won't be playing.
Okay.
He won't play.
If that's the case, then so be it. If he's not playing, obviously they're cooked. But there's a reason why he is 5th all time in win percentage out of every player ever, because he just wins. So if he's playing, if he is healthy, they have a shot.
He just won't be playing.
They have a path.
I don't think they do.
As we've said, he's never been healthy throughout the whole playoff series. So if he's injured, then the Clippers are cooked. And we know that. But I think they're a bigger chance to win than the Knicks.
That's crazy.
The Knicks don't beat anyone good. They don't. They just don't.
You're having a stinker today.
Couldn't agree more.
Number 7, I got your Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, okay.
So number 7, they're just their form fluctuates way too much night to night. And you guys were humming last year on the defensive end, and then Ant was humming on the offensive end. But just night to night in a series against a team, like if you come up against a Lakers, if you come up against an Oklahoma, which you definitely could, I think OKC are just way more consistent on both ends compared to the Timberwolves.
I think, could be a little biased, but I reckon the only matchup that really concerns us in terms of where we have no hope is the Lakers. I like our chances against the Thunder. We've split games with them this year. We're 2-2 against them. And you're talking about we didn't have our full roster once against that squad.
Yeah, if anyone's going to upset the Thunder, I have the Lakers or the Timberwolves. You guys are a big X factor. I think you're the biggest X factor. The West will be scared if you guys get the 4 seed. Yep. That'll be scary. If you guys have your home court advantage that round 1,
that'd be huge.
You don't have to travel as much, and then you'll be facing who knows. If you face the Lakers in the second round, you're cooked.
Hopefully we do. We've got the easiest remaining schedule out of any of the teams we're competing with. So fingers crossed, but no, I think 7's a good spot for us because we are super inconsistent. Yeah. So I think, that's a fair spot.
All right, number 6, I got the Denver Nuggets. And this is basically, it's primarily based on Nikola Jokic and his greatness. And he shows, as well as he's doing in the regular season, he shows that he just goes to a new level in the playoffs. You can't stop him. But that being said, if Jamal Murray's injured, they're cooked.
Yeah.
Like the 2-man game in the playoffs is just something that not a lot of teams can stop. And when push comes to shove, that's what they go to, especially late in games. They're probably the best closing out game team in these last few years in the playoffs. They're super clutch. Jamal is super clutch. So if Jamal Murray is injured, it's like similar to Kawhi Leonard. They're no chance. But simply having Jokic, that just pushes the needle to win playoff series.
Having Malone there as well is huge. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league as well. So you pair that with the best player in the league and then one of the best coaches going around. That's a good recipe. But health is going to play such a big part for him.
Yep.
So,
but I think if Jamal Murray was for sure playing, I'd probably have him as a top 5 contender, simply just because Jamal Murray goes to a new level in the playoffs. But I have him at 6.
Yep, I like it.
Number 5, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers at 5. So they're the number 1 seed in the East, but they are yet to prove that they are worthy of actually any playoff success.
I get that, but it's like they're a completely different team than they were last year based on the way they played. They've gone from...
Absolutely, and that's why they're 5. Last year they wouldn't have probably even cracked the top 10.
Yeah,
but the 4 teams ahead, I can definitely see them winning a championship more than the Cleveland Cavaliers. It just comes to the point where they don't have an A grader. Yeah. Sorry, they don't have an A plus player. Mm-hmm. They don't have a superstar. Like they might not have an All NBA player this year. They might have a couple, but they might not have an All NBA player.
I think they'll get 2 in there, I reckon.
But I just think these other teams have proven playoff success or are just at a greatness level greater than the Cleveland Cavaliers.
They're 62-16 currently.
Yeah. And I expect them to make a conference finals. But I think a lot of people see that as their ceiling. If they beat Celtics, that would be insane, and I'll eat my words. But I don't see them winning the championship more likely than the other teams.
I just think they're more polished than any team in the Western Conference apart from the Thunder. Like they are a super polished team and just demolish. They're just demolishing blokes out here. Obviously, they hit a rough patch, but...
Yeah, and that's why I fully expect them to cruise through the first and second rounds.
Yep.
Even if they come up against the Knicks, I just expect them just to cruise through.
Yep.
But I think Boston will be their downfall.
Yeah, right. Big call.
Alrighty, number 4. The Golden State Warriors. I've got them at 4. I think they've obviously got a proven track record. Mm-hmm. This team they lost yesterday, so what are they? 18-3 since the Jimmy Butler trade? That's insane. They're
great.
Beating good teams. They're not really taking nights off. Their defensive identity is here now. Jimmy Butler's just changed the way this team competes. They get to the free throw line. They control time of possession. Like they control the flow of games, which Warriors just don't. And Steph Curry, apart from his last game, he's balling out. He's looking 100%. Like prime Steph. So you can see them getting there. You can see this path to the championship for them. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a shame if they come up against the Lakers in the first round. I think they'll be cooked in the first round if they come up against the Lakers.
Yep.
But I hope they get a 4 or the 5 seed, and then they can, get maybe a Denver, get a Clippers or a Memphis. That's what I'm hoping, and then they can get to the second round. But I think there's more likelihood of the Warriors winning the championship than the Cleveland Cavaliers.
That's a massive call, especially like imagine saying that halfway through the season when they were looking like a playing team.
But
and now, hey, Warriors do look lethal. They look very lethal, and I reckon they've got the best coach in the league. I think Steve Kerr is a genius. It's tough. It's hard to argue that. Like Steph Curry's playing career best basketball.
It's going to be tough to beat them 4 times. But then it's going to be tough to beat Cavs. Like, they're insane. They're so long. Like, and they're a gigantic team. Warriors play small ball.
Yeah.
But they're incredibly reliant on Draymond to perform night to night. But he shows he can do that in the playoffs.
Yeah. No, for
Alrighty.
sure.
Number 3, I got the Los Angeles Lakers. So they're at 3.
Yep.
So they're not quite the 2 best teams in the league, I think. They still show they have lapses in games where they just switch off. They'll have a 20-point lead and it'll be gone like that within 4 or 5 minutes because on the defensive end, they just switch off, and that is definitely a big tone setter from Luka's attitude on the defensive end. He just really isn't engaged at all. So I think they're at 3. They just don't perform as consistent within a game as OKC and Boston.
Yep.
But yeah, when you got Luka and LeBron James, you're a fat chance.
100%. I'm with you. I'm super high on the Lakers. Like, I think, I'm not gonna lie, I see them as a team that's got a bigger chance to win the championship than the Thunder, I think. So I would probably put them above them, but yeah, I'm super high on them when you've got literally the best player of all time and possibly one of the best players of our generation in Luka. That's just a perfect recipe for success. But yeah, one thing holds them back is rookie coach. Yeah. And that this team's only been formed halfway through the season. So I think that's what holds them back.
That's where it's tough. So hopefully they can hold on to that 3 seed, which they'll definitely need. They need the home court. But Luka, bro, I wouldn't want to be playing him at any point in the playoffs. And he's proven that he can run rings around OKC. So that's another thing that's massive.
Yeah.
All right, number 2. Got the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, right.
So I got them at 2. It just gets to a point where regular season success is that great that it will translate to the playoffs. So they're no doubt going to be a great team. They're a formidable team. They just do not take nights off. They've lost 12 games all year or 13 games all year. Offensively, defensively, Shea, he's just on a new level. He probably will win MVP. He's a top 2 candidate. But they're deep. If they stay healthy, Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein are 2 of the best big men duo in the league. They're just insane to watch. And I think I can see them winning the championship. Like, it'll be massive if they don't make a conference final. It'll be pretty big if they don't make the championship, honestly. They've been the most stable team out of everyone. The West is wild, but you expect them to still progress.
It's going to be such a big test for them because they're still one of the younger teams heading into the playoffs, but they're probably the most refined one out of them all. Yeah. It's tough with Thunder because it's like they should be making the finals or at least the conference finals, but then it's like if they don't, it's not like it's disaster for them because they've got so much time.
Yeah,
so they're going to be up there for so long. But yeah, you strongly expect them to be in the championship this year. No, I can't argue with that.
And number 1, the team most likely to win the championship is the Boston Celtics. Yeah. So it's easy to pick them because they're going for the back-to-back, but nothing I've seen this year suggests they're not the best team in the league. And they have just been in cruise control all year. They're probably going to get to 60 wins. If they're healthy, even if not, if Tingus Pingus isn't playing, they are still probably the favorites.
Yeah.
So Tatum and Brown show that even if they're not playing their best basketball, they're still probably the best duo in the playoffs.
It's shooting insane. Career worst. Heading into the playoffs and winning a championship last year, and he is a 10 times better player than he was last season.
And the East-wise, like you can just see them kind of cruising through the East and the OKC having 6-7 game series the whole time through getting there. And
they're going to be knackered by the time they get there.
You saw it last year with Luka and the Dallas Mavericks. So I think the Celtics are the most likely team to win the NBA championship.
Yeah. If someone says Boston aren't the favourites, then they're kidding themselves. This team is so far the best team in the league. I don't care that they're number 2 in the East. It does not matter to them. They could be number 7 and they'd cruise through the Eastern Conference. They are by far the best team. They have the best roster. They've got a really good coach. I reckon they've got an S-tier player now in Jason Tatum and have one of the best, probably the best number 2 option player. Apart from, it depends if you're taking LeBron or Luka as that number 2.
Yep.
Other than that, they are loaded. They are loaded and health isn't actually a big factor to them. They can have blokes down and still provide and be a lethal threat. So I'm right on board with that.
Yeah. Any snubs? Do you think anyone should be?
I'm trying to think who didn't make it.
I didn't have Bucks.
Didn't have Bucks.
I just don't see. There's no world they win.
That's probably fair.
There's no world. Indiana didn't have them in there.
That's a big one. Like that. I'm not high on Indiana though, so I don't think that is terrible.
I didn't have Grizzlies. Didn't have Sac or Dallas.
Probably can't argue with that. I want to argue with you, but I really can't. Like I would rearrange a few of these around. Like I think Clippers are way too low. I would put them. I think they've probably got a bigger chance than we do at times as well. Like
Clippers?
Yeah. No, sorry, Knicks, not
Knicks,
Clippers.
right.
Clippers are too high, I think. I'd put Clippers at 10. I think disrespect to Knicks and Rockets having Clippers above them. But yeah, apart from that, I think your top half is good. Like Lakers at 3, I respect. OKC at 2, yep. Boston at 1, that's just a no-brainer. Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty, let's move on. So the regular season's it's shaping up and it's about to finish. So the All-NBA teams and award season is about to start. So they're going to be announced. They get announced relatively soon.
It's kind of as soon as the postseason begins. I'm assuming that's when they get announced. Yeah.
So we're going to go through our All-NBA teams for the year. So our first team, second team, and third team. Mm-hmm. So now, this is the first season that there is no positions in the All-NBA team. So you don't have to have guards, forwards, center. It's just 5 players per team. So do you want to go first team?
I'll start us with our first. Or do we want to go 1 to 3 or 3 to 1? 1 to 3.
1 to 3. Yeah, go 1 to 3.
Start with our first team. I feel like this is pretty stock standard.
Yeah.
However, I don't think the one I've put in will be that.
Okay.
I've got SGA.
Yep.
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum. Giannis Antetokounmpo and Nikola Jokic. That's my first team.
Okay.
All NBA players.
So I've got similar team. So I've got Nikola Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jason Tatum, Giannis Antetokounmpo, LeBron James.
LeBron all NBA first.
He is a 40-year-old GOAT-like being, and he's averaging 24 points. That's 12th in the league. 8 rebounds and 8 assists at 40 years of age and averaging stats like that.
Yeah, but I think it's also eye test as well. You watch the way Ant provides. Like, Ant is playing insane basketball and putting this team on his back.
But the Lakers are in top 3 contention, which the Timberwolves aren't.
Yeah, they've also got Luka Doncic. And they weren't in top 3 contention until they got Luka Doncic. Don't make me argue against the GOAT. I love LeBron, but I feel like in this case you can't use the 40-year-old thing for him in terms of this is the best place.
Do you think Ant's had a better individual season than LeBron?
Yes, I think Ant has had Ant has had one of the best individual seasons out of anyone in the league. That's why I've got him in my All-NBA team, first team. I don't think he'll make it. I do think they'll give it to someone like Donovan Mitchell because how good their team has played this season, which I wouldn't respect. But yes, Anthony Edwards has done more than enough to be All-NBA first this year. He is a superstar.
Yeah, well, you guys tell us your thoughts on that. Who's had a better season, LeBron James or Anthony Edwards?
Don't make me hate on LeBron, bro. That's not my king.
Alrighty. Second team. You go.
I've got Steph Curry, Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, and Karl Anthony Towns in my All-NBA second team.
Very different. Wait. Yeah, okay, yeah. All right. So I've got Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Brunson, Stephen Curry.
Ooh, okay.
So very guard-centric. So I think I've got 4 guards and 1 center.
With my teams, I still kind of stuck to the 2 guard, 2 forwards, center.
The thing is, that might be the case with a lot of people. Like, you don't know how they're going to do the voting, but I think that's the next best 5. I think. And as you said, you have him in your first. He's got to be in either the first or the second. Cat, one of the best centers in the league. He was second best center in the league behind Jokic. Cade Cunningham. You showed his impact he's had on Detroit this year. Jalen Brunson, apart from his injuries the thing is actually he's at 62 games right now. You have to hit 65, so and there's 3 or 4 games left, and he's back, so he should qualify.
He qualifies, yep, 100%.
I
like it. Yeah, no, I like it. So here's my third team. Okay. I have Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Kevin Durant, Evan Mobley, Alperen Şengün.
Kevin Durant. Yep. I don't think he'll qualify. Will he qualify?
Yeah, no, I thought he qualified.
I don't think he will.
I'm pretty sure he did, didn't he? Oh, he's got 62.
So he'll need to come back in the next. Now. He was out for a week, so he might still qualify.
If he qualifies, Kevin Durant is making the All-NBA team.
Yeah, he's like, what is he? He's top 10. He's like top 6 in scoring.
He's insane. I'd expect him to qualify. If he does, he is All-NBA third team.
Okay. My third team, I got Jaylen Brown, James Harden, Jalen Williams, Donovan Mitchell, Alperen Şengün.
Jalen Williams in there.
Yep.
So you've got him over a bloke like Kevin Durant. Is that right?
I don't think KD will qualify.
Okay.
So if KD qualifies, he probably will.
Yep.
Even like you could sneak Devin Booker in there, but just the fact that
I can't.
Suns
put
have been
Devin Booker
so
there.
stanky,
Yeah.
you can't put the second best team on that team.
Extra stanky this year.
Şengün, I think
Bad.
Şengün should be there. He's best player on the second seed in the West.
Yep.
So
Oh, he's insane. He's just getting better and better. He's such a smart player. Watching him, the passes he makes is like passes that only Jokic is making.
Yeah.
Like as a 5-man.
Yep.
He's super impressive.
Yep, it'll be interesting to see if Jalen Brown, if he ends up on any of these teams.
I'd expect him.
He actually almost doesn't even qualify. He's missed, I think he's like 67 games.
Damn.
Harden, I think you have to put Harden in there. I think he's been a top 15 player this year. He is so good. 22 points, 5 rebounds, 8.5 assists, over 40 from the field. Like at his age, leading this Clippers team with Kawhi being out for a majority of the season. I think you got to give him his props.
40 from the field's not overly great though. Like for him, he hasn't shot well.
40 from the field, that's above league average.
Yeah, but for James Harden, that is not 40 from the field is not great.
League average. 36-year-old James Harden.
40 from the field, 34% from 3.
Yeah, but
I don't think that's great.
It's not just about scoring. He's
Yeah, but
one of the best playmakers in the league, and him and Zubac lead in guard center points.
I don't think he's done enough to be over these certain guards.
No, Harden will be there.
I don't think so. I'm not sure about that one.
You guys send us your first, second, and third teams. It's going to be tough to field like 15 players into these squads.
Been a lot of good performances. The only bad thing is so many of them been affected by injuries, which we hate. Like you'd see a bloke like Wemby would 100% be in there. Kyrie could have been in contention for a team.
Even AD would have been there.
Yeah. So it sucks to see that, but can't win them all.
Okay, so award season is heating up. There's a lot of conversations being had. We're going to give you our regular season awards for the 2024-2025 season.
Love it.
So I'll go first.
Yep.
I'll go MVP. I've got Nikola Jokic. Controversial. I think Shea is most likely going to win it, but Jokic averaging 29.8 points, 12.8 rebounds, 10.2 assists. That's top 3 in all categories with a field goal percentage of 58%.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I'm right there with you. I want to argue with you, but I can't give it to Shea. Nikola Jokic is by far the MVP. All I'm saying is like, if he hadn't had 3 MVPs before this, there is no question that he would get it this year. It's just because like they're getting voter fatigue. They've done that with MJ. They've done that with the LeBron. They're doing it with Jokic now. If he hadn't had an MVP under his belt, there's no way they wouldn't be giving this to him. No player in NBA history has been top 10 in points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game, and steals per game. Nikola Jokic is top 3 in all of them.
That's insane.
Like, what are we doing here? There is no argument.
No, but there is an argument because Shea's individual season has been historically great, and they have 17 more wins than the Denver Nuggets.
And then you compare the teams.
It gets to a point where there's the win total does start to outweigh the individual performance. Is Jokic's individual performance good enough to overcome that? We think it is, but a lot of people won't, and that's why Shea is the MVP favorite.
When Jokic is off the floor, statistically, the Nuggets play like a 17-win team. The Thunder, with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander off the floor, play like a 55-win team. Okay?
Damn.
And when he's on the floor, when Jokic is on the floor, they play like a 64-win team. You can't tell me that's not the MVP.
Drop the mic, man. That
Most
was
valuable player. That is what it stands for.
I think the voters need to hear that stat.
Like, I just can't believe it.
It's gonna be a Shea MVP. He will get it because people just don't want to actually appreciate Jokic's greatness. Not gonna lie. Did you see Steve Kerr talk about Jokic? He said he's the greatest center he's ever seen. He said it's unfair to compare eras, but he is the greatest center he's ever seen. He played against Kareem and said Kareem couldn't do what Jokic is doing. He's the smartest basketball brain in the world.
There's no way to guard him. Ant literally versed him in that double overtime and said it felt like we just went up against the greatest player ever because there is no answer for him. And people refuse to believe this. Just because it doesn't look dominant the way he plays doesn't mean he's not dominant. He is the most dominant player we have seen.
I think we need to put together like a list of like the greatest players. Like I haven't done like a greatest players list and just see where he falls.
He's going to be high. People aren't going to like it, but he is going to be extremely high.
All right, so we both have Nikola Jokic.
Yep.
Okay, moving on to Defensive Player of the Year. I've got Dyson Daniels. Our Aussie boy. Man's averaging 3.1 steals lead. That's league leading by so many. He his ability to guard multiple positions, just disrupt opposing players' offenses. Like, he's actually disrupting systems. Like, teams have got him probably number one on the scouting report when you play Atlanta. And he'll be a big reason if they win a playing game, win a couple playing games to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think he's just shown, Draymond has shown he's been great in these last few months, but the body of work across the whole season, Dyson has just been insane.
Oh, I'm with you in terms of I want Dyson to win Depoy, but I've kind of gone with who I think will, and I think it's Draymond Green. I think he's averaging over 2 stocks a game, but I think it's just more, he's a big eye test player. The versatility he has defensively is probably something we haven't seen in a while. He realistically can guard 1 to 5. Like we say it about a lot of players, there's not many like him that can go guard 1 to 5. You can go up in a matchup and you'll see him have possessions on Shea, and then say the next series he's going to be guarding Jokic for 40 minutes and doing a hell of a job. He's possibly one of the best defensive players of our generation. Like, we haven't seen anything like it.
And he definitely deserves, when you look at it and you see Rudy Gobert has 4 defensive player of the years and you see Draymond Green only have 1, it does make a mockery out of the award.
Yep.
Like, Rudy Gobert will be in the Hall of Fame, first ballot, simply because he's got 4.
Yep.
Draymond Green will be a Hall of Famer, no doubt, but if he hadn't won all these championships and he's only got the 1 defensive player individual accolade, that could impact his legacy. 100%. So it's almost like an honorary pick if he gets his second defensive player of the year.
We're so big on steals and blocks, and Draymond doesn't live off that.
Yeah.
He just lives off stopping the other team from scoring. There's no one better than him than that. Like,
Sure.
If you're picking one of the best defensive players in the league, it is Draymond Green. He has been insane, but
Good call, man. It's a good call. Okay, 6th man of the year. I've gone Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah, I'm with you on the same one. Like, I don't think there's much of a competition this year. He's kind of got that in the bag. Early in the year, I thought DeAndre Hunter was a huge chance. Yep. Getting traded to the Cavs definitely didn't help his case.
Doesn't help. Peyton Pritchard, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 3.5 assists. Like, classic 6-man stats. There hasn't been too many candidates. I think Malik Beasley's in the conversation for Detroit. Yeah. He's been great for them off the bench, but I think Peyton Pritchard will get the award.
He's got it in the bag. I think that's an easy one. 100%.
Okay, Rookie of the Year. I'm picking Stephon Castle, averaging 14.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, 4 assists. We kind of expected this to be a kind of like a pretty mild Rookie of the Year race. Jared McCain was looking good early. Dalton Connect had moments. But Stephon Castle across the whole season, I think he's been the most consistent. Yeah,
I think that's fair. I think this rookie case has actually been surprisingly really good down the stretch. I think a lot of blokes have started to step up, and I've been extremely high on Alex Sarr. He's my Rookie of the Year pick. He has been super impressive. He has taken this Wizards team from a team that looks like they're in no man's land to having a really bright future coming forward. Like, him and Bob Carrington look like a really good young duo. He's averaging 13, 7, and 2 on 1.5 blocks a game, over 2 stocks a game. I think everything's improved post All-Star break, 3-point percentage, field goal percentage, everything's gone up. He's gone up. He's looked super solid, and I think he's my Rookie of the Year pick.
Honestly, if he wins it, it wouldn't be like an upset. Like, he's shown that he's... Also, Zachary Ricochet has actually improved as the season's gone on.
They're all progressing. I think this rookie class will be better than expected.
Yep. Alrighty, Coach of the Year. I've got Kenny Atkinson for the Cavs.
You can't argue it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't argue it. He's taken this team from 48 and 34 last season to currently 62 and 16. Yep. We haven't seen a jump like that probably since Steve Kerr took over for the Warriors. And
they literally started the season on a 15-game winning streak. Like, that's the most amount of wins from a debut head coach.
He's changed the entire landscape of this team. They went from one of the slowest teams in the league last year, where it was very ball dominant by Donovan, to one of the fastest teams in the league this year. It's a completely different scheme they're running offensively and defensively. He's getting the most out of Evan Mobley. He's turning him into an all-star. Darius Garland was in a slump. He's turned him into an all-star. And Donovan Mitchell's just doing what Donovan Mitchell does. He's by far Coach of the Year this year.
I think, if there's going to be anyone potentially in the running, you'd have JB Bickerstaff, the ex-Cavs coach. He's coaching the Pistons now, getting them to 14 wins or 11 wins to, they're now 43. So they've clinched a playoff spot, which is insane to think about. They have been the worst team in the league across the past, 5-6 years.
Any other year, he's winning it.
Yeah.
I think any other year, it's just, Kenny's just done something pretty impressive this year.
If Kenny wasn't a first-year coach, he wouldn't have won it.
Yeah,
it'd be JB Bickerstaff's award. Alrighty, so last award, we have Clutch Player of the Year.
We also have Most Improved.
Oh, haven't we done Most Improved?
Yeah, we haven't. We've skipped by Most Improved.
Oh, we haven't done Most Improved.
We'll go by Most Improved.
Most Improved.
Who do you have?
Dyson Daniels. I have him winning defensive and Most Improved.
That's crazy.
He's increased his scoring from 5.8 to 14.2, Rebounds from 3.9 to 5.9. Assists from 2.7 to 4.3. And his steals have literally doubled, 1.4 to 3.1. So that is the literal definition of most improved. His growth in every statistical category. Wouldn't have been on anyone's scouting report last year. Now he'd be probably number one for Atlanta. Yeah. His leap in performance has to be acknowledged with the most improved. I think he'll win most improved. I don't think he'll win Depoy, but I think he should win both. Honestly.
He has to win most improved. He's my pick as well. It actually makes no sense that there's a guy. I love Cade, but he was a number one pick, and this guy's progressed well. He's been a stud since he entered the league. Most improved should be about someone who has come out of nowhere. They've gone from a borderline reserved player, bench player, to a critical piece on a team, and that's what Dyson Daniels has been. So I don't understand the storyline around the most improved award anymore. I think it's a bit of a joke. You're talking about lottery picks are consistently winning it. In Ja Morant, Cade probably will win it this year. Brandon Ingram, Larry Markkinen, all these guys are winning it. They've been high
Julius
picks.
Randle, Julius Randle, players that are expected to improve.
Yep.
Not players like last year. It should have been Kobe White.
100%.
Kobe White. All down out of nowhere.
Maxey.
They gave it to Tyrese Maxey, who's expected to be
He's meant to be a gun.
But Dyson is the epitome of this award. Yep. He was traded away in just kind of like a little throwaway player for Atlanta, and he's shown, man, his growth's been insane.
Yep, 100%.
All right, so then last, Clutch Player of the Year award. I'm just giving this to Jalen Brunson.
I'm there with you as well. Leads the league in clutch points.
That's basically all you need, I think.
I think that's enough to get you the Clutch Player of the Year right there.
It'd be him or Jokic, I'd say. Yeah. Jokic steps up when the clutch time.
Jokic will take care of the MVP. Yep. I wouldn't be surprised Jokic could get it if they don't give him the MVP and they're like, well, we probably need to give him something. But I think Jalen Brunson's got that in the bag. He just certified bucket in the clutch.
Certified bucket.
We'll move on to our last segment of the episode. We've got our Who Would You Rather Anthony Edwards edition. So I'll be listing some names for Benny here, and he'll let me know who you want to take.
Because really, if I did it, you would.
It'd probably be pretty biased. we had to speak about this one for sure.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'll start us off. Who would you rather, Anthony Edwards or Jaylen Brown?
I'm picking Anthony Edwards for sure. Jaylen Brown, Finals MVP last year, the highest paid player in the league, but Anthony Edwards, if you're picking who you want to lead your team, Anthony Edwards for sure. 100%.
Anthony Edwards or Devin Booker?
I'm picking Anthony Edwards. Yeah, Devin Booker, he has been just an elite offensive player for the Suns for years. Obviously has a greater body of work than Ant, but Ant just has that star potential that Devin Booker's never really had. So, Anthony Edwards.
Yep. Love it. Anthony Edwards or Donovan Mitchell?
Anthony Edwards. Yep, I'm going Anthony Edwards again. I think if you put, obviously the Cavs are the number one seed in the East, but I think if you put Ant on the Cavs, they're even greater. And if you put Donovan on Minnesota, I don't think he could carry this unstable franchise like Ant is. Ant has top 5 potential. Donovan's never really even had top 10 potential. So
I'm right there with you. Yeah. Anthony Edwards or Jason Tatum?
Ooh, that's tough. Right now I'm picking Jason Tatum. I think I am. I think he's probably about the best in the NBA, probably the best American player. Yeah, I'd say. He's proven he's never missed a conference finals. That shows you just the impact he's had on Boston. Obviously, he's played with some incredibly talented teams, but I think if Ant was on Boston, they wouldn't be the team they are with Tatum leading them from the front.
That's the last year I would have taken Ant.
Yeah,
after those playoff series, I would have taken Ant. This year, Tatum's gone to a new level. He's an S tier player. Obviously, Ant's so much younger, so he's got heaps of time to grow. I think Ant will be better than him, but right now, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I think that Tatum is probably the most underrated player in the league. Yeah. So he's going to be KD level by the time he ends.
That aura.
He doesn't have the aura, but then that's also a benefit. There's no hassles with him off the court.
Yeah, 100%. I rate it. Anthony Edwards or Kevin Durant?
Give me Anthony Edwards.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. 100% every day.
KD, just don't. Oh, he's a baller. But I think right now I'd take Ant.
Yep.
For sure.
Same draft class. Anthony Edwards or LaMelo Ball?
Anthony Edwards. Yep. LaMelo Ball, he stuffs the stat sheet, but it's a lot of empty stats.
Yeah.
So I'd say Anthony Edwards.
For sure. Anthony Edwards or Ja Morant?
I'm going Anthony Edwards. Ja Morant shows that he can lead the team. He can lead his team to a top 2 seed, but Ant's playoff performance better than Ja's. He's a formidable playoff performer, but I think line him up. Ja doesn't have top 5 potential.
No, I think he did. Yeah. Doesn't anymore. I think Ant's
too many off-court issues with Ja.
100%. Anthony Edwards or SGA?
SGA.
Yeah.
You got to go SGA. He's an MVP candidate for a reason and has never been in the MVP conversation.
Mhm.
So on both ends, I'm taking SGA.
Yeah, respect. Anthony Edwards or Jalen Brunson?
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah.
Damn.
I know who Harrow will take.
I'm taking Anthony Edwards. I'm taking Anthony Edwards. Jalen Brunson, he's a baller, but on both ends, like Ant's a way better defender than Jalen Brunson. Brunson's not a terrible defender.
It's my man right there.
But I don't know. That's tough. They're both elite scorers.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson's a better playmaker.
Yep.
And he gets to the free throw line at a better rate than Ant, but I just think Ant has that star factor that Jalen Brunson is probably a top 10 player in the league right now. And if you would rank them, he could be higher than Ant. But I think going forward, I'd take Ant.
Yeah, love it. We've got 4 more.
Okay.
All right, 4 more to finish up on. Anthony Edwards or Cade Cunningham?
I'd take Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
I would. Cade, it's tough because I feel like we're just scratching the surface with Ant. I mean, with Cade, but and you know where you're getting, and he's just going to keep getting better and better.
I think that's the thing. We're scratching the surface with Cade, but we also are with Anthony Edwards. Like, I don't think we have a ceiling in the league like Anthony Edwards' ceiling right now.
And he's just so exciting. He's so exciting. So I think I'm going to take Ant.
Anthony Edwards or another first round pick in Paolo Banchero.
Ant.
Yeah.
I'm taking Ant.
Yep,
Paolo. Paolo could be a top 5 player eventually. Mm-hmm. I just think Ant is... Yeah, just at a different level, superstar level that Paolo isn't quite at yet. But Paolo has insane potential.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
To finish off, probably this is going to be tough. I don't know where you're going with these ones. Anthony Edwards or Stephen Curry?
Jesus. Right now, or obviously for the future, you're taking Ant, but
let's so however you've answered them previously, this is how you have to answer it. And we're heading into the playoffs. What's going on?
Give me Steph Curry. Give me him. I can't. I've stayed loyal to my man. He's still like a top 5, top 6 player in the league, in my opinion. I think on a night-to-night basis in a playoff series, I'm taking Steph Curry over Ant.
I love my man Steph, but I don't think you can take him right now over Anthony Edwards.
If Steph was on Minnesota, that's a tough conversation.
I don't think either of them benefit the other team when you swap them. But you put them on a neutral, I think Ant currently makes that team better.
But that's the thing. It's just hard to have that conversation with Steph because it's just so Warriors offensive system driven.
It's very system driven.
No, give me Steph Curry.
I think I'm taking Ant there.
Right,
and the last one, Anthony Edwards or LeBron James.
Give me LeBron. What are we doing? He's 40. He's going to make the All-NBA first team. And give me LeBron.
Would you say the Lakers would be better with Anthony Edwards right now?
No chance.
I don't know.
No. LeBron James is just immeasurable. You can't. No.
I think I'm there with you. I think I'm taking LeBron, but I don't think it's as big of a gap right now as you think.
I'm taking LeBron.
But I like that. That's some good stuff. That's some good content.
We love it.
Love it. Anthony Edwards got the nod over many.
Majority.
I think apart from SGA, Tatum, Steph, and LeBron.
He's a good player.
Was that it? He's up there. He's one of the best players in the world.
He is.
We love that.
So that's a wrap on episode 23 of Talk and Dribble. We hope you enjoyed all the playoff race talk, my top 10 championship contenders, and Jakey's breakdown.
It's been a packed episode diving deep into the All-NBA selections, regular season awards. Let us know what your guys' pick is for this season.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X for all the latest updates. And don't forget to check us out on Spotify and YouTube for the full episodes.
If you loved the episode, leave us a review. It helps us grow and get even better with each show.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll be back next week with more NBA chatter and all the latest playoff updates.
Catch you next time. Until then, keep talking dribble. We out.